Creating a formula for calculation. Since we've already talked so much about formulas, let's create one and see it in action. Here, let's assume that you're considering taking out a loan from the bank for your home or small business. Before you even go in to speak with the loan officer, you may wonder what you're facing here in terms of monthly cost. You go to your bank's website and you see they're offering a 5-year loan note for up to $25,000 with an annual interest rate of 8%. Now let's create a formula that would help you estimate how much this will cost you in monthly payments so you can decide if you can afford the loan before you go through the hassle of applying for it. Remember that Excel functions are pre-written formulas made up for common uses. One of those Excel functions happens to be a payment function, and it can help make our lives far easier in terms of computing this particular type of situation. So we go to a cell in our worksheet, and it can be any cell in this particular relatively blank worksheet, and we'll begin to type the function needed to calculate a payment. And this is going to start with $PMT. PMT represents the payment function. The equal sign is used here to let Excel know that you're preparing a formula. To that, we need to add the particulars of this loan, which involves 12 monthly payments a year for 5 years at an annual interest rate of 8% per year. These terms will be represented in the form of an argument, which will be surrounded by parentheses next to the payment function. Let me show you how we'll do this by typing it in. We have the equal payment. The argument starts with a parenthesis, as you see here, followed by the interest rate of the loan divided by 12, because there are 12 months in a year. There's a comma separating elements of the argument. Then we have the exact number of payments we'll need to make, which is 5 because they're 5 years, times 12 because they're 12 months in a year, followed by another comma separating the elements, followed by the exact face value of the loan before interest rates are added, which is $25,000, and you don't need a dollar sign or a comma within the actual dollar amount itself, followed by a closing parenthesis. You may ask, why divide the payments up since the calculation is based on an annual rate? Good question. The answer is because while the interest rate is annual, you need to factor in the amount of interest paid each month as part of the overall loan package. To finish up and get our results, we simply press Enter on our calculation, as we do here, and we'll see the result, $506.91. Note that it's in red and surrounded by parentheses, because Excel can tell from the function that this is a payment, which means money paid out rather than coming in, so it's represented in red with parentheses. You can apply the same basic principles for formula creation, such as this one, to something like a house or business property mortgage or a credit card. You could also use this to compare different loan packages. For example, let's say your bank offers this 8% interest on a $25,000 loan, but another bank offers a 6.5% interest rate on a $30,000 loan for the same 5-year term. You could use this formula. Let's go to another cell and type in this formula. Press Enter. Actually, this is the formula up here. Press Enter. You'll see what this particular loan rate would offer. And if you notice here, you'll quickly discover that for an additional $5,000 borrowed, you pay less interest and only pay about $80 more per month in loan payments. So this is an example of creating a formula for a very specific task.